Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at one of the strongest teams that you can play with the new Tinkaton. We're going to have a very strong team here that already was dominating basically the meta for the last, I don't know, few seasons actually, with the Altaria and the Empoleon core, and we're just going to put in Tinkaton as well. And I have to say as well here, a lot of the battles might not be ideal. I think even the first battle here, I played a lot while traveling to Prague, and I did do some battles as well. I had to change trains, which wasn't really the ideal one. For example, here shielding against the Gas Lord. That is not what I usually was doing. I wasn't looking at my screen. I had to go ahead and change the train leader on the first one. Yeah, there are going to be a few that might have some lag issues or whatever, but actually went super positive with this team, so I kind of want to showcase it to you as well. But yeah, generally not the best idea to play PvP on a train. It was actually fine going towards Prague, like the last bit of it, but like trying to play it on the trains in Germany, if you have been ever in Germany on trains, you know you don't have internet connection, maybe not the smartest idea. Here, I would have won this battle guaranteed if I just didn't do, the battle while trying to change the train there. That's silly me. But generally speaking, this team is amazing. This team is absolutely fantastic. I want to showcase, of course, the funny battles where I lose because of absolute nonsense. But what we are running here as well is Waterfall and Empoleon. I wasn't really planning on running this Pokemon with this specific moveset, but it honestly turned out quite nicely because of mainly on how the team is kind of functioning. Basically, Empoleon is here to support the Tinkaton in multiple different ways. And where actually Waterfall really helps is it actually kind of prevents certain situations that would happen if Altaria is down. What I mean with this is Altaria is your main fire resistance, is your main answer to ground type Pokemon. And Empoleon is actually going to be fine if you're in Waterfall for those two scenarios. And that's something that is just kind of worth noting here, like basically what we're gonna have here is, like, if you lose the Altaria, it's not game over. Well, if you lose the Altaria, well, you have here Empoleon with the other moveset. A lot of times it can be a bit of a tricky situations, but also what you have to kind of consider with those kind of teams as well is how, like, where is the Empoleon strong with the fast move of Waterfall? And that's going to be mainly the case when you have shields, because you're going to have so much fast move pressure that's going to add up over a long period of time. We have two very bulky Pokemon in the other positions, which means you're going to be able to use those shields, and especially in a team like this, you would love to have alignment. And I feel like this is where literally Empoleon is going to be so nice, but also then again, against those common steel type Pokemon, like even the Tinkaton, I do think that Waterfall is going to be stronger against as well. And so I think there are quite a lot of kind of benefits of this specific set here as well. By the way, my elo is around still 2,600. I actually took basically a break of playing for 2 weeks now. It was just not possible, didn't have enough time for that. So I just literally, like, the last video that I saw where that gameplay was basically the last time I really played Go Battle League. I now am back. We have, by the way, some of the battles in the test Great League. If you haven't seen that one yet, there's a cup for testing the new Go Battle League code, and then most of the battles are in the normal Great League because I just really didn't like the new version. Like, I just, like, compared to each other, I just was like, why am I gonna test this? It's so clunky. It is so annoying. I don't like it. Here, I was storing a flamethrower for the fortress for later on, not knowing directly now who's gonna win CMP tie. I was fairly certain that fortress will win the CMP tie. I'm honest there with you. I did expect that this Pokemon will win it. Here, though, we are in the basically perfect position that we could have put ourselves into, because, like, from quite a bad spot for ourselves. We have the flamethrower still here. We only gave them one fast move, but yes, they have a move stored. They're going to knock me out here. Good game to the opponent. Not a lot that we can really do here, but still, good game. We can move on to the next opponent. But yeah, by the way, if things are a little bit, but yeah, you don't, for example, see gifts on the right side. You're just gonna see, like, the Pokemon, just how they are. I'm, of course, currently in Prague. I'm in my hotel room. I just got some basic stuff to try to record these videos here as well. I don't have everything. I don't, like, especially my PC isn't really the greatest either, so it's going to be a little bit lower quality than what you may be used to on this channel. I'm not saying that those, like, the craziest quality ever either, but of course I'm just having, like, that's the thing as well. I love not being able to just do videos when I kind of want to, because I feel like I have like fun with it, and I want to try out the Tinkaton, because I saw, of course, the replies on the last video where I had like the top 10 legend teams, that there was no Tinkaton team for yourself, and so I was thinking about, okay, what kind of Tinkaton team do I want to try? I did try like 3-4 different ones before this one, by the way. It's not that I'm just like go ahead and like, this is a cool thing as well that I can do now. I can test different kind of teams before I'm like, yeah, I make a video about it. I wasn't really in the position prior because I did always 2 videos a day, which makes it impossible to not have showcase, basically nearly impossible to not showcase like the first thing that I try. I couldn't just try out a little bit, and I felt like this was the best team by far with Tinkaton. I had great success with it, and Tinkaton, especially in the closer position, is just so deadly because he can just lock in so many different Pokemon currently. But yeah, again, this is like my 3rd or 4th team that I tried to build around Tinkaton. So like there was already quite a bit of testing involved into trying to find this team. And yes, this is not the most creative team. I'm not saying that with that, but it's the strongest team that I found, and that's all that I wanted to try to find. So that's cool. Also, of course, yeah, regional on Prague is going to be on. I have no idea when I'm going to be able to upload this video. I assume still today on the Friday. But we have to see here, by the way, you saw a little bit of lag, I think, as well, where the Pomos is a little bit like fast in terms of getting the moves off. A lot of times there's going to be a little bit of lag, but again, I don't actually want to blame the game this time around. This is mainly due to me being on a train, and like you shouldn't really play Go Battle League on a train, but like I didn't really have the time otherwise anyway, and I mainly don't do my battles anyway, so there are going to be a few losses here today where I just didn't play it right because of those situations. But so I had fun. I honestly had a lot of fun with this team, with just generally playing Go Battle League. It is honestly still fun for me. I just wish I had a little bit more time, but again, there's going to be changes as well towards the channel in the future somewhere, where I'm going to be able to do a little bit more videos than just one a week or something like this. Even like now today, I'm going to be able to get another video off this week, which is kind of cool, and I'm going to try to produce some more as well while I'm in Prague. But generally speaking, yeah, there's going to be changes to all things. I do think we're going to have like 2-3 videos a week soon as well again, so like it's going to be okay. Anyway, we're going to see here that Tinkaton with the Gigaton hammer is absolutely broken, but because of why the hell did Furret go down from nearly full health there from this one? Like, this is why Tinkaton is literally everywhere, and this is why we're going to see this Pokemon as well in the next regional, which I'm going to be casting, of course. That's why I'm in Prague. Quite a bit, because like, yeah, Tinkaton itself is just so broken with a new move. But then again, there's going to be the one weakness of this Pokemon, which is going to be that, I think this is, by the way, the new system here, and it looks so clunky to the point where I think that I maybe lost a few boss moves because of the new system. Yeah, of course, mostly together with the train, but like honestly, the other system just worked way, way better, and there was no need for me to play in the new system at all. But yeah, Tinkaton is going to be everywhere in the new regional. There's going to be a lot more meta changes as well. For Alligator, which you see currently on the screen as well, it's going to be one of the most common Pokemon. I really don't like, by the way, how CMP looks in the new version, because like, what the hell is this now? I thought I would just be able to fully farm him down. I can't. It's just such a mess. It's just such a mess here still. This is a new version, and I honestly just don't really want to ever play this again. There needs to be a lot of fixing. Like, honestly, there needs to be a lot of fixing. I hope the new version is more stable, of course. That would be fantastic, I would say. But at the end of the day, it's just so clunky. And like, you really need to kind of iron out a lot of the animations. Like, Go Battle League is fun and unique and kind of in the competitive circuit, just mainly because of it being a very nice, fast game, nice to watch gameplay generally. And if you take away the fast-pacedness of this game mode, like, what do we really have? Like, honestly, like, no, like, seriously, what do we really have for Pokemon GO still? Like, there's not really a lot that is, yeah, happening here. They must have, like, a higher attack Tinkaton here. I thought I would be able to win CMP because I have 2 attack at least in mine, which most people most likely have better IVs, but apparently I don't. Could have won the battle then if I would have won CMP type, but it is what it is. We have a horrible lead against us again. Tinkaton is going to be up against us, but we won't have at least the Empoleon now aligned. Bulldoze is coming through. Bulldoze is going to drop us low. This is where like normal Empoleon is just a little bit better. I do think normal Empoleon, just generally speaking, is a bit better than the Shadow Empoleon. I don't think that I don't think that the Shadow one is absolutely needed, by the way. I do like Shadow, though, just for the main reason that you have like a little bit more force and pressure, especially with the 2 shields. But I feel like a lot of times Shadow is not preferred in the current meta. The only Pokemon that I think like Shadow is really preferred for that I can think of right now is going to be Talonflame. I think Talonflame is quite a bit stronger as a Shadow just because you have more fast move potential, like farm down potential basically with a fast move. But otherwise, honestly, I feel like Shadow Pokemon are a bit fraud right now. Like they're all a little bit of a fraud. There's not really a lot of Shadow Pokemon that are really that much better. Like even Quagsire. Quagsire is cool as a Shadow, don't get me wrong, but I do feel like that the normal ones mostly are just stronger. Like I don't think that Quagsire really is that much better if you... I don't know. It is what it is. Anyway, here we're going to have Tinkaton against Tinkaton. We're going to be able to farm them down. The team is, by the way, super simple. Like I don't really have to talk too much about the team itself and how to play this team because it's so straightforward. Like you have Tinkaton as your closer, Altaria as your lead. Altaria is going to be able to beat fire and ground type Pokemon, which are the only weaknesses I think of Tinkaton. I think there's no other weaknesses to this type itself. So, yeah, that's basically it. Of course, it's going to be good against water type Pokemon that Tinkaton doesn't really want to face either. And then we're going to have the States of Empoleon trying to bait out, especially the ground type Pokemon, fire type Pokemon, of course, as well, if you can bait them out with the Waterfall fast move, which is generally speaking, there's just kind of disrupt the middle play and try to get the shields, because this is the thing as well for this team. I try to get shields early because this allows you to hit the Giganton Hammer later on, and that is just how you win those games. Alright, Feraligatr and Elite. That is going to be again like Feraligatr you're gonna see in the regional today or like tomorrow, depending on when you're gonna watch it, or maybe it's already gone. Feraligatr is gonna be practically, I would say, on around 2/3 of the teams. I can't see that this Pokemon is not gonna be the #1 spot currently, because on how nice and just balanced it is, like on how nice and like it's so difficult to counter this Pokemon is the main issue for it. Like you have no hard counter to the Feraligatr. Like there is no Pokemon that can currently really lock it down, and that's kind of the thing why this Pokemon is so crazy. It's just so strong. Like the only type that I think that resists all three of those moves that this Pokemon has is Water and Dark, and they are all squishy Pokemon that all die to 2 Hydro Cannons. So you really don't have a resistance to Feraligatr right now. Anyway, let's take a look at the next opponent. We're going to have the Stunfisk against an Elite. You kind of want to play this one out, because your backline is quite weak to it. I think I completely misplayed this gameplay here, by the way. So let's find out on what I do wrong. Again, I'm just going to blame the train now, of course. Partially, it's also my fault, most likely. But the train is here to blame. The train is what we can't... Like, they can't say anything back to it, like the train. It's always a train. Anyway, we're going to have the Sky Attack coming through, we're going to get the shield, and we're going to have the Waterfall down. I am hoping at this point, really, that I can knock them out in 3 fast moves, because then I will not get another charge move. And I can. And Empoleon is doing a great job here, allowing us to go up against the Stunfisk, and I was like, okay, I can just go for a fast move and throw. Okay, I can go for another fast move and just throw, and I throw the fucking, the game here, sorry, no foul language here. We throw the game, like, we just kind of give them, oh wait. How is Togekiss against Tinkaton? Do we not? Maybe we don't throw the game. But like our sphere is gonna do a lot of damage. Oh, it's not gonna two-shot us. The fast move is resisted from the opponent. I might still be okay. Okay, I am okay. Goodbye. Why would you do that? I have no idea. Goodbye to the opponent here. Thanks for playing. Well, let's move on to the next opponent. By the way, also in the way I can't really see when the video is gonna end, so that's fantastic. It's gonna end whenever it's gonna end. We're going to have the Typhlosion against us. A Pokemon that, by the way, I have in the top team video as well. If you want to take a look at a team around Typhlosion, a Pokemon that definitely is going to get a bit more play. And a Pokemon that I wouldn't be surprised, actually, if people would be running in the upcoming regional, because it actually core breaks a lot of the current meta. And it's actually really cool, because you're going to have Thunder Punch for the Feraligatr. I never really thought about it. I think that actually Typhlosion might be a Pokemon I want to take a look at next as well, because what it can do in the current meta. Like, of course, against Quagsire, it's absolutely... I mean, like, this thing as well, Blast Burn, no matter which Pokemon you're going to go up against, Blast Burn is going to hurt. The only Pokemon that really is the hardest inside, I feel like, to Typhlosion is going to be something like the Turtonator, which nobody's running. Fun fact, I just lost to a Turtonator, that's why I was talking about it now. Not in this gameplay here, but like with a different team, which you mostly going to see on the channel as well, if I have the time to do those videos. But, yeah. It's fantastic. Here, by the way, I try to get my energy with my Tinkaton against Ferrothorn. They actually are a little bit lower than I wanted them to be. In comes a Typhlosion. Of course, if I get the shield from them, I have Bulldoze. And Bulldoze is going to be able to knock them out in this range. And this is the one reason as well why Tinkaton is so strong. Actually, while the ground type coverage that you have, it doesn't really do a lot of damage against neutral hits. It actually covers quite a lot of the types that resist the steel typing. And this makes Tinkaton so much stronger because like you are going to be able to go ahead and hit steel type Pokemon, electric type Pokemon, fire type Pokemon, all for super effective damage, which usually like your steel type damage wouldn't really help you with. And so like kind of the only type that really is left there that is a good answer to Tinkaton is water. At least defensively. And like that's kind of bad. And that's why Quagsire is going to be quite common. That's why Feraligatr is going to be quite common. That's why the general meta is going to be polarized towards a water type Pokemon. And that's why I also could see that even Pokemon like Ferret, well, yeah, maybe Ferret's going to be a bit weaker now as Tinkaton is very strong against Ferret. As an anti-meta Pokemon, it's still going to be strong. And then you're going to have other options as well. I wouldn't be even surprised if Greedent could have some play eventually because you have Mudshot on it. But then again, of course, Mudshot is not going to help you out that much in the Tinkaton matchup either. But yeah. One of the Pokemon that also apparently is going to be now very strong is going to be Ludicolo that we are playing up right now against. As Ludicolo is going to be a Pokemon that can resist, of course, the damage of Tinkaton as well as doing nice neutral damage with the Weather Ball Water. But also, just the type itself is very interesting. The current meta is going to be also beating the answers to Tinkaton. And so I'm curious on how the regional is going to turn out because there are quite a lot of Pokemon that is like big question marks right now. I feel like there's a lot of play currently for very unique Pokemon to have a lot of impact in the meta. And it's just exciting to watch. And so, yeah, well, definitely stay tuned for the regional. I know all the controversial things happened in the last regional. I hope things are going to be alright this regional. That's all I can really hope for. But, yeah, we're going to have, you know, the Ludicolo against Altaria. We're going to be able to win this battle. At least, that's what I thought. But Ludicolo has Weather Ball Water, a move that's easily resisted. But also, Ludicolo has apparently the energy of, I don't know, a million. Because as you're going to see already, they're going to be able to reach yet another move. And if I would have got the Bulldoze debuff, which is a 50% chance, we would have been in a position here where we could farm them down quite easily, most likely. But in this point, we are not going to be able to do really a lot here. These Sky attacks coming through, we're going to get knocked out. And this is going to be it for this video. Again, I can't really see when the video ends. But yeah, sadly we're going to lose against Ludicolo here. But still, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one, and I will see you at the regional.